Hello YouTube, welcome back to another Yassit lap guide. My name is Foch and today we're taking the Lambo around Barcelona. Super tricky circuit, good for learning the game, even though I disliked this pretty heavily when I was starting off. The track has a lot of really tricky spots. A lot of the curbs send your car into over rotation that can get quite frustrating. So learning which ones to avoid is quite crucial. But overall, the circuit has a very solid mix of corners of all types. A lot of fast corners, a lot of slow corners. So the setup accordingly needs to be compromised for all of that. The Lambo drives very nicely here. Well, it might be off pace as of 1.9.5, I believe it is right now. The Ferrari seems to be the king here. The Lambo still drives very nicely and still has that Lambo power. Biggest discovery since the last week's videos is that engine map 5 makes the whole throttle control in the Lambo a bit more trivial. Can stomp on throttle more similar to most other cars. Still want to avoid doing that, especially in corners like this, as you're either gonna trigger the TC way too much or still get into a slide. Most people really dislike the chicane. The Lambo feels quite on the heavy side. It probably is. Usually the Lambo is among the heaviest GT3 cars, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case here. Before we talk about the references, let me quickly show you my view settings. So this is what we're using. Obviously quite relevant to all my braking references, and it will vary quite drastically if you're using drastically different settings. So for turn 1, there's little gutters on the left side, right next to the wall, and then the 100-meter board. We're braking before the last gutter and the 100-meter board. Also don't go off track in turn 1, tends to invalidate your lap times, but either way, this corner just a bit of lift, want to stay closer to the apex. However, next corner, last line on the left side, braking a little bit before it. Stay narrow on the exit here, and short shift to second. For this next corner, we're braking before the curb gets dirty with the rubbery marks on the right side. Use all the curb on the exit. For this one, we're braking before the white curb begins. Also, don't drive on the inside curb, especially with the rear wheels, as it will over-rotate the car. This corner in quali trim on warm tires should be without braking, but a little tap of the brakes can help you turn the car in a bit better. Here we're braking when the tractor intersects the A-pillar on the left side. Once again, careful on the throttle. We also use TC1 there. A little tap on the brakes for this corner. This is also a corner where you really want to avoid driving on the inside curb. This one doesn't really have a good reference. We're just braking on experience and the feel. Here we're braking just after the banner crosses the top of our car. Short shift to second for the exit, can also use TC1. And that is the lap guide of Barcelona. Also stay off the curb in the last corner, as that will lose you a bunch of time on the straight. So here is our setup, positive or neutral toes on the rear. We ditched the big positive toes that I was running before. With engine map 5, like I said, the throttle control becomes a little bit more trivial, probably more lap time in lower engine maps, but when you're learning the car, the engine map 5 gives a lot of feel of security and can really trust the car to not snap on you on the exits. But once you get more used to it, probably is better to dial the engine maps down back to lower ones. Probably not 1, but something like 3 or 2 is probably going to be the faster choice. But with that, you'll probably also need to change quite a lot in the setup to still regain some control on the corner exits. This is what we're running mechanically. Still rather clueless of what I'm doing. The car drives really nice, but not sure if the lap time really is there, as the car can definitely get into 42s. I didn't quite make 42s. The lap still had some mistakes, but it wasn't that bad of a lap. Relatively clean, just probably could go a bit faster. Running quite a lot of rake, as well as, like I said, the map 5 really takes care of the corner exits, and we get a nice amount of rotation without being too scary, spooky, or whatever. The setup can definitely improve, the lap times can definitely improve, but not a bad starting point for this track here. So I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you liked the setup, and I will leave you with a hot lap and see you on the next one.